All right, today we're going to work through the problem set from lesson 15. Yesterday you looked at a math antics video and you found the definition of a quadrilateral, and that is a four-sided figure. And we went through, or the video went through, the attributes of various quadrilaterals, primarily whether or not the sides are parallel or how many pairs of parallel sides there are, and also the angles. And so we're going to use that information that you learned yesterday today. So as we can see here, I have my book open, and I would encourage you to have your book. So if you don't have your book, go ahead and get it, and we're going to work through these problems today. So first of all, it says construct the figures with the given attributes or characteristics, name the shape that you created, and be as specific as possible, and then use extra paper as needed. So number one, construct quadrilaterals with at least one set of parallel sides. I'm gonna do a little, might you say, cheating a little bit, and I'm just gonna make one set of parallel sides by drawing on each side of my ruler. So I know that these are parallel, and I can tell that if I were to, if I were to make my right angle template, take my right angle template, and I can see that it is perpendicular to this line, the straight edge, and if I slide it down, it is also perpendicular to this line. So I know that they are parallel. That is what we learned before. So I can go ahead and I can connect these endpoints just by simply drawing lines. And so I have a four-sided figure, quadrilateral, and it has at least one set of parallel sides. So I can say that this side is parallel with this side. I know that. And I need to name it now. And because it has only one set, these don't look parallel. And if I were to put my right angle template in there, definitely that angle is hiding. And so is this one. So that's not going to work. So, all right, so this figure is, think about this, is a trapezoid. All right. Now it says quadrilaterals. You can draw a second one, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do it this way. Go at an angle. Now, how many sets of parallel sides did I make here? I made two sets. So I can mark these as parallel, and I'm going to put 2 marks on these to indicate that they are parallel. Because I am slanted, well, let's look at the measurement here. It's like 3 centimeters and 3 centimeters. So I know that not only are the sides parallel, but all the sides are the same length, which is important here because you might be thinking, well, it's a parallelogram, but it's a special parallelogram. It is a rhombus because it has 4 equal sides and 2 sets of parallel sides. All right, so I could have made any here. I just chose to do that. Number 2, construct a quadrilateral with 2 sets of parallel sides. Well, you can think I just did that here, but I'm going to do a different one here. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I am perpendicular so that I know that when I make this line, And I come over here, and if I were to line this one up, it is also perpendicular, because that's important, because now I know that this side and this side are parallel, and this side and this side are parallel. So now I have quadrilaterals, 4 sides, yes, 2 sets of parallel sides, correct. And because the sides are different lengths, I'm going to mark those 2 as the same length, and these 2 as the same length. I now have a rectangle. All right, and I could have made a different one. I could have made a rhombus, I could have made a parallelogram, I could have made a square, because all of them would fit these criteria: quadrilateral with 2 sets of parallel sides. So you could have made anything there other than a trapezoid. Question 3. Construct a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Parallelogram, I know, has 2 sets of parallel sides. So I'm going to make sure that this side is parallel to this side. And because I use my right angle template, I know that these are right angles. So I can go ahead and mark these. And again, these are the same length, these are the same length, and they are parallel with one another. So again, same figure. I've just included the right angles this time. So it is a rectangle. And construct a rectangle with all 4 sides the same length. Now, I know that you guys are thinking that I know what this is already. And you are correct. It would be a square. So, make sure that my right angle template is lined up. Go ahead and I measured 3 centimeters. This is also 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters here would be right here. And I'm going to go ahead and use my right angle template. And now I know that this side, top, and the bottom are all the same length. I know they are right angles because I use my right angle template. And this side is parallel to that side, and the top is parallel to the bottom. So notice I'm using those different symbols to indicate length of side, to indicate parallelism, and the angles are marked. And so here I have a square. So that is the first 4 problems on page 115. Now when we turn the page, we have some matching. Use a word bank to name each shape, being as specific as possible. So we have parallelogram, trapezoid, rectangle, and square. Since we just did the square, I'm going to, I know this is marked, the sides are all the same length, and I'm going to assume that the angles are as well, and I'm just going to double check them with my right angle template. They are, so I could actually put the angles in here, and I know that is the square. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that off. I know the definition of parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel sides. This has got 2 sets of parallel sides. They're marked. This one only has 1. This one's not marked. both of these are parallelograms because they've got the right angles marked. So they're both parallelograms, but I need to be as specific as possible. Because this has the right angles, I'm going to go with rectangle. And that would make this the parallelogram. And by process of elimination, trapezoids only have one set of parallel sides. So there we have the top done. And then we have 3 questions remaining here. Explain the attribute that makes a square a special rectangle. Well, why is this a special rectangle? Rectangles have 2 sets of parallel sides, so do squares. Rectangles have 4 right angles. They are marked here. It's hard to see in the video, but you can see that in your book. But what's the difference between here and here? It is that these are the same sides. So all the sides are equal. All right, number 7. Explain the attributes that make a rectangle a special parallelogram. So we just went from how is this special from here? Now they're asking how is this special from here? And hopefully you can see we've talked about 2 parallel sides, 2 sets of parallel sides, but this one has the right angles. So rectangles have 4 right angles. That is what separates it or makes it special than a regular, just a parallelogram. And the last question, explain the attribute that makes a parallelogram a special trapezoid. Ooh. I don't know that a parallelogram is a trapezoid. That's hard to say real quickly. Because trapezoids only have one set of parallel sides. Parallelograms have 2 sets. So I would say that parallelograms must have 2 sets of parallel sides. Trapezoids only have 1 set. So that is the big difference between, whoops, just realized you couldn't see that. There we go. Parallelograms must have 2 sets of parallel sides. Trapezoids only have 1 set. So we've gone through the problem set of lesson 15, page 100, lesson 15, which is on page 115, the front and the back. And what you're going to do is you're going to do the exit ticket today. There are 2 problems here, and you'll see that you're going to submit that electronically. And what you're going to do is draw them, take a picture of them, and submit them. All right. Well, hopefully that is it here on quadrilaterals. Hopefully the quadrilateral hierarchy sheet from yesterday is very helpful as well. All right, that's it for today.